For the record, good morning, Your Honor. Ron French, here on behalf of Mr. Miller. Standing here with me.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yes. Good morning, sir. Your name for the record, please.
Michael Edward Miller.
Okay, is Shadi Markabani present?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to give you an opportunity to address the court just for a moment, okay? Thank you. All right, so today's the date scheduled for sentencing on your client's plea to an amended charge of disturbing the peace. The original charges of assault and battery and malicious destruction of property were dismissed as part of the resolution between counsel. And counsel, did you have an opportunity to review the report and recommendation with your client?
I have, Your Honor. There's no corrections or deletions. We simply ask that you adopt the recommendation.
Okay, and so Mr. Markabani, if you can please come up and approach. And so I appreciate you coming into court today. And what would you like the court to know?
I just want to let you know, Your Honor, I just want this man to stay away from me. Every time he passed by, until maybe last week, he keep like calling me names, gesture. This man has issues. And
Jester?
yes, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, but it's too much to take. I've been assaulted, he put his hand on me, and I don't think I'm getting fair judgment.
So, sir, did anybody reach out to you at any point prior to your notice for court today?
Yes,
Okay, and so was it the prosecuting attorney that did that?
yes,
Okay. And did you express to the prosecuting attorney some of your concerns?
yes, I did, and I submit the videos, everything I have, and I'm surprised the court doesn't have those videos.
Well, sir, the court can't have those videos unless it's submitted during the course of a hearing.
Which is, I did that.
I understand that, but there wasn't a hearing that was done. Because it was resolved prior to that. Who did you submit those videos to? The prosecutor?
Yes, I submit some of to the prosecutor, and the police officer review the videos too, when they first issue the ticket from Mr. Miller.
Okay. And so you're telling this court that Mr. Miller, even as of last week?
Maybe 2 weeks ago?
Okay, and so what was done, said, what have you?
He called me names, racist names, gesture, F you go, whatever, he just keep passing by when he drive by the shop.
And then you're seeking restitution in the amount of $1,000?
Just for the damage for the car, that's it.
And how long have you been at that shop, sir?
Almost 8 years.
Okay. And how long has Mr. Miller been cutting the grass at the ice cream shop? If you know.
Maybe 2-3 years, maybe he started, I'm not sure, But it's been going on for a long time. I just, try to avoid him. Did everything possible not to make contact with him, but what he did, absolutely unacceptable.
No, the court would agree with that.
And I'm not that type of person I'm very competitive,
The hearing begins with the judge confirming appearances. Ron French represents Michael Miller, and the victim, Mr. Marani, is also present. The judge notes that today is the sentencing date for Miller's plea to the amended charge of disturbing the peace. The defense confirms they've reviewed the report and recommendation and asked the court to adopt it.
And do you have any dealings with Mr. Miller outside of when he's doing the lawn cutting over there?
No.
And you saw that it was Mr. Miller that was the one that drove by and made that?
Yes.
Okay. What road was he on when he drove by?
for damage.
And you were outside when you had come?
Yeah, I was working from the base.
Was there any other traffic out there at the time?
No.
Well, Your Honor, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Can I respond quickly to what the victim said?
In just a minute,
Okay.
just a moment. How long have you known Mr. Markovani?
3 years, man.
And that's when you started doing the lawn care at the ice cream shop?
Can I speak freely?
No, I just asked my question.
I'm sorry.
Is that because when you started doing the lawn care at the ice cream shop or something different?
No, I started 3 years ago. Yes, 3 years ago.
Okay, and yes, Council.
First of all, he doesn't cut the grass there anymore. He did see the victim one day going by, because he lives in the area, my client does. He was going to the marina to do work there. He's not cutting the grass there. He stopped doing that to get away from the situation. My understanding is when the victim saw him, threw his middle finger up and like he had a gun. And my client just
Absolutely not.
Hold on, stop,
My
hold on,
client
sir.
just kept going and had no words with him. He was driving by in a car. So my client's not trying to see him. He just lives in the area. He has happened to be going down with a gun.
Okay,
That's it. So I mean, you're not gonna have any issues with contact with my client.
well, I have some concerns, I will tell you that.
I
have some
understand
concerns. Because your client, where his address is, right, is not near the shop. His address is not near the shop, and there are plenty of other ways,
Yes, ma'am. I agree with you.
but you didn't take those other ways. You drove right by Mr. Markovani's shop.
I have 2 clients that I cut their lawns.
That's not by Mr. Markovani's shop.
It's on the same road, ma'am. I work at
It's
the-
6 blocks down, so it's not near his shop. See, the good thing about Wyandotte, right, is it's either a tree or a number. So you're not anywhere near a shop. You don't have to drive by a shop. And to get from your home to where your clients on 15th live, you don't have to drive by a shop.
Well, I'll take Vinewood more often, but I didn't intentionally drive down the street to aggravate Mr. Bonnie. I stopped because the light turned green. He was shoveling the snow and gave me to grab the junk and the shoot stuff, so. The first year I worked there, he told me to put the leaves back along the fence line. And he came out and challenged me. What I was doing is the first time I cut the lawn to the Holy Cow. I went on.
Mr. Marani addresses the court, expressing his frustration with Miller's behavior. He claims that Miller has repeatedly harassed him, calling him names and making racist gestures. Marani also mentions that he submitted videos of the incidents to the police and the prosecutor, but is surprised the court hasn't seen them. He emphasizes that he just wants Miller to stay away from him and seeks $1,000 in restitution for damage to his car.
So I blew all the leaves along the fence line onto the Holy Cow. And then I bagged up the leaves. He told me he wanted them back there. And I thought, okay, that's a little strange, but I finished doing my job and all the letters of recommendations. I clean up after myself. They call me the lawn whisperer. So I've taken care of 5 properties in Wyandotte that's been ticketed by your controls.
No, let me clarify it. I don't control when tickets are issued, sir.
No. I'm just telling you, I provide my services to take care of things, and I take care of that lawn at the Holy Cow for 3 years. All of a sudden, he's threatened me these 3 years. He jumped over the fence the day I was cutting the lawn. Instead of calling the police like a normal citizen, shoved the phone in my face. And all I did was push the phone out of my face, and he pushed it to my face twice. I didn't have $3,500 to depose this witness. My grandsons and my family asked me why I did what I did. I took responsibility for this. I pleaded no contest to this. He wrote up the estimate for the damage on his car, which was previously already there on the car. Because I have documentation of his thing, because I took a picture of of what I do there. The reason I cut the grass is the kids play there. The first year, second year, third year, I make sure there's no glass, no stones, no garbage, and I take care of that. And with letters of recommendations, prove that I do what I say I do. Every time I see him, he's scared that I'm gonna tell somebody about what I told your probation officer, and I'm not gonna say that in court because it's not appropriate.
Your Honor, if I may, my client's going to take a different route. He understands the weight of this court, and I think he's going to abide by
Not a
the
problem.
no contact order. We would ask that he get some time to pay this $1,000, and let's all put this one behind us if we could.
Put your phone down, please. What is the issue between the two of you? Keep your hands on your pockets, sir. What is the issue between the two of you?
The issue is every time he comes, cut the grass, he blow all the dirt, I have, this is why the videos. Everything shows on the video. I have it on my phone now. If you want to watch it, you can watch it right now.
Hold on, so is the animosity over lawn debris? Is that what you're telling me?
No, he's a racist man. Absolutely, he's a racist man. He called me names.
Hold on, sir.
He called me names. Go back, wherever you come from. I never, ever, I try to avoid him with everything. I even move the cars out the lot because I know he's coming and he's gonna cause damage to those cars. He blew the dirt. He even picking up the grass, the dirt, the rocks, and throwing on my lot. I have the videos. And I submit those videos to the court, and I'm surprised that you haven't seen it. I have him here on my phone. I can go back and get it. And all the names, everything he's saying, absolutely not true, all lies. Absolutely, 100% lies. The only reason I went to cross the fence, I just want to take a picture of his license plate, and this is exactly what I did. I took a picture of his license plate to show the officer because I know he took off, and I tried to take a video. He knocked my phone down and he punched me.
The judge questions Mr. Marani about the timeline of events and whether the prosecutor reached out to him. Marani confirms that he submitted videos to the prosecutor and the police, but the court hasn't seen them. The judge explains that the court can only consider evidence submitted during a hearing, which didn't happen because the case was resolved through a plea deal. Marani reiterates that Miller has been harassing him for years and that the situation has been unbearable.
And this is when I lost the
Right, and that's why.
Yes.
That's why everybody's here
I didn't
today.
say a word. He was doing all the talking. I didn't even respond to him because I know. I just took a video. What he's doing, I don't know what else to say. It's everything he's saying. Absolutely lies. No
Well, here's what I think, right? I think that there's a little bit of something going on both sides, and something more, what's really going on is somewhere in the middle, right? You each have your perspective, because you don't like Mr. Miller doesn't like Mr. Marcamani. That seems to be the way it is, for whatever the reason is. Whether Mr. Miller's blowing rocks and grass seeds over on your property, or I don't know. But what I do know is that the animosity rose to such a point where Mr. Miller was charged with assault and battery and malicious destruction of property. And despite whatever...
Miller's attorney, Ron French, responds to Marani's claims. He explains that Miller no longer cuts grass at the property near Marani's shop and has been avoiding him. French argues that Marani has been antagonizing Miller by parking his car near the fence where Miller works, causing debris to hit the car. He also claims that Marani approached Miller aggressively on the day of the incident, leading to the altercation. French emphasizes that Miller just wants to move on and is willing to pay the $1,000 restitution.
I mean, I don't know what the discovery was, I don't know what the discussions were with witnesses, but the resolution was to an amended charge of disturbing the peace. And sir, if you have an issue with that, then you need to talk to the prosecuting attorney.
Okay.
Because that was something that the attorneys worked out amongst themselves
Yeah.
based upon evidence and discussion. So that's why I asked if you had been, if anybody reached out to you prior to probation, and you had said yes, it was
Yes.
the prosecuting attorney.
Yes,
So if you have some issues with how this was resolved, sir, then you need to speak with the prosecuting attorney.
like I said, Your Honor, I just wanna move on, I have business to take care of. I'm not looking for problems, I just wanna move on, this is why I said, please, yes, just let him stay away from me, that's all I want.
So I'm going to be very clear. Okay. Well, sir, what is your problem with Mr. Marcabani? He's expressed what his problem is, what the issue is with him, so what's the issue for you?
For 3 years, he's threatened me. For 3 years, I've taught him. Am I liberty to say what I want to say?
Don't say it.
Don't say that? Okay, man, what I said, I shouldn't say it.
Your Honor, if I will, I know the case, that my client's a little nervous. These two have been going at it. He would park his car right by the fence, so the debris would hit it. He didn't move it. It's on video. Prosecutor and myself went through it, and I said, look, he's agitating my client. Every time he goes there, he moves the BMW right by there, and it's an older BMW. It's not a brand new one. He puts it right by the gate so that it causes an incident. And on the day of this incident, my client went across the field, probably 60 yards. He came to my client, and his face followed him. And that's how this incident happened. And my client said, get out of my face. He said he could smell his breath. He was so close. And, you know, that's agitation. So I think both of them have a little bit of culpability here. Like he said, my client just wants this done. He's agreed to pay the $1,000. He'll need a little time and call this thing over. He will stay away from him, and there's no reason why they should cross paths.
Well, you're correct, there's no reason they should cross
Right.
paths.
So we just ask that we put this one.
And so your position is that somebody intentionally moved a car to get damaged?
Yes. My client told me, and the video shows that he would put the car, there's a lot, the whole lot is open, the video that I saw. And my client told me he would put the car right next to the fence where my client has to cut and weed it.
Is the car parked there all the time, or do you only move it when your client?
He would move it, he would move it. But in any event,
That's a lie.
we have two grown men here, Your Honor.
We do, two grown men
Nobody's-
that are behaving like children, quite frankly.
Your Honor,
nobody-
my car-
Absolutely, Your Honor.
Nobody's
Hold on,
hurt.
stop, only one.
Nobody's
can speak at a time.
hurt. My client's agreed to pay the $1,000 to him. He's got his own shop. He's gonna do whatever he needs to do to the car and put this one away, put it to bed. It's done. We don't need to keep going on and on and on, because it's just gonna spin out of control. My client will stay away from him. He'll take different routes to go to his jobs, like you suggested, and we'll go from there. Everybody moves on.
And I've agreed to that, Your Honor. I don't think you want to see either one of us playing in the sandbox, Porter. I'm gonna be honest with you, this is two kids playing in the sandbox and got out of hand. When he threatened me and jumped over the fence and got underneath my car, a normal person would have called the police and said, hey, I think this
Okay,
guy.
but to say a normal person, I mean, that then,
A normal citizen,
that's not
someone-
necessarily appropriate. So people
Well,
handle
right.
things differently as far as their perspective of calling the police, because quite frankly, if it's been 3 years, have either one of you contacted the police about these alleged threats?
I
Or
did.
anything, or the damage to property?
That's me.
Okay. So knowing all that, you still jumped over the fence and you went over and approached him while he was over
Absolutely
cutting
not.
the
I
ground?
did not approach him.
Hold
He
on.
ran into me.
Please let me
approached
finish, sir. Please let me finish. You went onto the Holy Cow property and approached Mr. Miller while he was cutting the lawn. Is that how that happened?
No.
No.
The judge expresses frustration with both parties, noting that their animosity has been ongoing for 3 years. He points out that both Miller and Marani seem to be contributing to the conflict, whether intentionally or not. The judge emphasizes that the court is not a place for personal vendettas and warns both men to stop antagonizing each other. He also notes that the case was resolved through a plea deal, and if Marani has issues with how it was handled, he should take it up with the prosecutor.
Did you all meet at the fence?
Yes, but I went, he was like maybe 50 yards away from me when
Okay.
when I crossed the fence. He came all the way.
Hold on, so you crossed the fence
to take a picture of his truck because I know when he did the damage, he wanna leave. So I told him, I'm gonna call the cops and I'm taking a picture of the license plate so I know when I report it to the cops who did the damage to my truck.
Okay,
He ran into me, like he walked over 50 yards, came all the way, and this is when I was taking the video, and he punched me. Everything was on the video. I don't have to, the video will approve exactly everything I'm saying. Everything
where is the video? Mr.
I don't
Gailey,
have it.
Mr. Gailey, can you please place your appearance on the record?
Roger Keeley on behalf of people to City of Wyandotte, Judge. Good morning.
Great, good morning. Do you have the video, in this matter of Mr. Miller?
No, Judge, but I think he brought this up on a previous occasion, and it was determined that this happened before his arraignment, I believe.
What?
This
No, I'm
is-
talking,
I think
I'm
he
talking
did this
about the
issue before.
video, the video of the date of the incident on
Oh.
July 19th of 24.
No, Judge.
Mr. Kirkmani states that he provided a video.
He sent it to my phone, and I sent it to opposing counsel, but it's really hard to see.
I think in order to fashion an appropriate sentence, I need to review that video. Because I wasn't there, nobody except for the two of them were there.
So,
And I'm getting very conflicting stories. And I think that both individuals' animosity for the other person, I think maybe clouding some of their thought process as far as some of that. So I need to see that video.
Your Honor,
I
if
believe it's on the victim's phone.
Okay. Yes, Counsel.
Your Honor, I guess it's neither here nor there. I don't know if we're gonna rehash the whole thing again. My client wants this done. We would ask that you adopt the recommendation, let him start paying the victim here and be done with this thing.
Counsel, I understand that, but in order to fashion an appropriate sentence to make sure the proper rehabilitative goals are put forth, I need to have a better understanding. And I have zero better understanding after hearing from both your client and Mr. Markovani. In fact, I think it's a bit more convoluted now, a lot less clear. So,
wait, Your Honor?
I'm going, just one moment, I'm going to have Mr. Markovani go in to see Mr. Keeley, pull it up on Mr. Markovani's phone. Counsel, you can look at that on Mr. Markovani's phone as well, so we can make sure that it's the exact same one. And if there's no objection, then I will then view it at that point. I'm not saying you have to all come back. I'm gonna handle these two in custody while you're viewing the video, and then I will view the video, and then I'll move forward.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay? Thank you. Okay, Mr. Haley, good morning. I'm your appearance, please, for the record.
Roger Keeley, P4811 on behalf of people City of Wyandotte.
Okay, thank you. So Mr. Markovani, the video of the day of the incident was forwarded to police officers. Do you have that video?
No.
That's the one I'm looking for.
Do not have it, Judge.
Mr. French, do you have that video?
I don't.
I thought you reviewed the video.
I reviewed the one that he had on his phone, that last, when Mr.
So nobody reviewed the video of the incident?
I don't think there is a video of that. I haven't seen it.
Was there discovery?
Yeah, I got a bunch of videos, but I didn't find that one. Most of the stuff I got, Your Honor, was body cam video.
The judge questions Miller about his history with Marani and why he continued to drive by the shop despite the ongoing conflict. Miller explains that he has other clients in the area and wasn't intentionally trying to provoke Marani. He also claims that Marani has been threatening him for years and that the situation escalated when Marani approached him aggressively on the day of the incident. Miller admits to pushing Marani's phone away but denies punching him.
Obviously, there's clear animosity here. And they don't get along, that's pretty obvious. But, you know, if the victim is at his place of establishment and you know, the other gentleman is there for whatever reason. Apparently he works for the property owner next door, but it's pretty obvious that he's gonna have to stay away from Mr. Margavani for a while. That's what we're hoping. He doesn't wanna have any contact with him. He's made allegations about him, you know, having contact or doing other things after the date of the incident, so.
I feel that I need to see the video before I can fashion an appropriate sentence. Mr., you emailed it to the police department, you don't have it on your phone?
The
Can you pull up
police,
the email from the police, that you sent to the police department?
I don't know.
Why can't you go to your emails?
See, the police officer took the video off my cameras. They came into the office.
The camera's in your office, not on your phone.
The camera, it's on the building. So it's recorded on the receiver inside the building. So the police officer came out, he watched the video, and then he recorded on his phone, and he took the video. And I cannot go back, I only can go back 7 days from the day
Okay.
it's been recorded.
So that's not on your phone.
It's not on my phone, but the one that on my phone, I record these after the incident. So in case to show the court that this is what he's doing, even after the officer issued the ticket. I have those videos. There's a couple of videos. He's blowing trash, cutting.
Okay, I'll see, what date's the video of that? What date is that?
This one maybe 3 weeks after.
Look on there, sir, that you can find the details and see what date you took the video.
I can't see that.
If you're all agreeing that that's the one that was taken after the incident, I'll take a look at that.
Okay.
Yes.
So just so you know, sir, I swiped right up, okay? And it tells you the date. That's August 12th at 9:05 a.m.
Listen,
So it's after the incident. What I'm trying to tell you is that, so you just swipe up like that. That's how you get the date and time. Somehow I know that and you don't, but I don't know. So, and it even tells you the location. So, you see, somebody says you can find everything, you can find everything. Okay, so what I saw in the video.
Excuse me, Your Honor. I can't see your face, the officers in the way.
What I saw in the video is August, after this incident has occurred, that Mr. Miller is doing weed whipping along the fence, and you pick up what looks like rocks or something, and you're throwing them over the fence, back
You wanna
over,
know what it was, Your Honor?
but back the asphalt.
He has an asphalt
Yes, I
blacktop,
see that.
and I cut grass, he throws it over there, and I make sure.
Okay, listen, you two are grown men. We are not going to sit here and argue over who puts the rocks and the broken asphalt over the fence. Who cares? Really, who cares?
Then give me what you want to give me so I can go on my life. My wife's at home sick. I went and had a medical thing because I thought I was having a heart attack over the stress of listening to these lies. Do what you want to do to me, ma'am. I need to go on with my life. I can't take this anymore.
Sir, you cannot stand there and say that you don't have any culpability or accountability in this entire
I plead no
situation
contest.
either. Excuse me. You pled no contest. So you didn't accept or admit your guilt in any of this, sir. Okay? No contest as the court reviews the police report to determine if there is a factual basis.
The judge reviews the video evidence submitted by Marani, which shows Miller blowing debris toward Marani's property after the incident. The judge notes that while the video doesn't show the actual altercation, it does demonstrate ongoing animosity between the two men. He emphasizes that both parties need to take responsibility for their actions and stop escalating the conflict. The judge also warns Miller that he needs to stay away from Marani and avoid any further contact.
So, I don't need to see the video of that day. It would be helpful, but I can fashion my sentence appropriately. We can give Mr. Marcavani back his phone, please. All right, The court does find, after hearing from counsel, hearing from Mr. Miller, hearing from Mr. Marcabani, from the prosecutor, from reviewing the report, the recommendation, the police report, a video from after the incident, but not the incident, the court does find that there's reasonable grounds to depart from MCL 769.5. The court also finds that 3 months probation isn't necessarily
The judge sentences Miller to 6 months of probation, longer than the 3 months recommended in the report. He orders Miller to pay $1,000 in restitution and warns both men to stop antagonizing each other. The judge also cautions that if either party returns to court over another incident, the consequences will be more severe. He emphasizes that the court is not a place for personal disputes and urges both men to move on with their lives. The judge concludes the hearing by reiterating the importance of both parties taking responsibility for their actions. He notes that while Marani is the victim in this case, the ongoing animosity between the two men has contributed to the situation. The judge warns Miller to stay away from Marani and avoid any further conflict. He also advises Marani to stop provoking Miller and to let the matter rest. With that, the hearing adjourns and both parties are instructed to move on with their lives.
the most appropriate recommendation. The court does find that Mr. Miller is eligible under 771.1, and he's also eligible for early discharge. The court is going to order 6 months probation. Mr. Marcabani, you may not be happy with that. You may not think that that's long enough. However, Mr. Miller doesn't have any history, any criminal history. Now, I acknowledge that there's been about 3 years of animosity between the two of you that has not resulted in any criminal charges. So, but the court is also very much aware that because of the animosity, Mr. Miller, I believe his judgment might be a bit clouded with some of his actions or thoughts as it relates to Mr. Marcabani. So hopefully the conditions that this court's going to put forth are going to be conducive to helping resolve that issue. Mr. Marcabani, that doesn't mean that you don't have any accountability in this matter either. You don't need to send any gestures Mr. Miller's way, whether you've done them or not. You don't have to do that. I'm saying moving forward, you don't have to send any gestures his way. You don't even have to look who's driving down the road. Mr. Miller, while you're on probation anyway, you're not going to drive by his shop. But in future times after probation, you're driving by the shop. You don't even have to look that way to see if he's even there. Who cares? Who cares? You're not to violate any criminal law of any unit of government. You're not to leave the state without the consent of the court. You are to report truthfully to your probation officer as often as your probation officer may require, in person, writing, or virtually. You are to notify your probation officer immediately of any change in address or employment status. You are not to return to, the court's going to also order restitution in the amount of $1,000 as agreed upon by counsel. Any questions on those terms and conditions?
No, I called my brother. He's going to front me the $1,000 so I can get along and get on with this, and I'll just pay him back. He knows that I'm on a fixed income and I'm taking care of my wife's medical bills.
Okay. And so, Mr. Marcabani, what that means is that the restitution will be paid to the court, and the court will then send you a check. All right, so you have to stop at the window to make sure we have your appropriate, that we have your current mailing information, your correct address. All right, now, I'm going to strongly caution both of you. In the event that either one of you are back here for an incident between the two of you, that will not necessarily be in all of your best interest.
Not a good thing.
Right.
I understand, Your Honor. Thank you.
I'm the victim, Your Honor, in this case.
Sir, this particular moment, on this case, yes, you are the victim. But I'm also aware that the two of you have had animosity for 3 years. Okay? So both of you are culpable in the continuation of the animosity and as to how this is elevated to the way it's elevated. I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm not saying that at all. Yes, you're the victim. Mr. Miller put his hands on you. He knocked the phone out of your hand. That shouldn't have happened. All right? I'm also saying that the two of you seem to have continued to antagonize the other consistently, intentionally or not intentionally, I don't know. Obviously, it's your property. You can park your vehicle where you want to park your vehicle, right? And then if somebody reads into it, why you parked your vehicle there, then I don't know what to say. But, sir, yes, you are the victim. That is why you had the opportunity to address the court. You brought your video evidence to court as best as the video there. And the court did hear from you, sir. But what I'm also hearing from both of you is that this has been going on for 3 years. 3 years over rocks and landscaping. That's what this has gone over. I'm not suggesting that Mr. Miller doesn't have negative feelings about you at all. I'm not suggesting that at all. I'm just going based upon what I have in front of me today. And that is why I fashioned the sentence that I fashioned. Please stop over probation and somebody will be with you shortly regarding your instructions and your conditions.
Thank
Okay?
you, Judge. Thank you.
All right,
Thank you, Judge.
okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm going to have you please, Mr. Miller, I'm going to have you have a seat in here, wait a couple moments while Mr. Marcavani leaves, okay? Thank you, Mr. Marcavani, for coming in today.